The question is from Autumn. Do you have a designated place for breastfeeding mums to feed? If so, where is it located? What does it look like? Do you feel this is something that is important to offer, or is it okay to have them feed in the nursery? So let me precursor your answer with how we do our parenting rooms with this idea. A lot of churches around the world have a thing called a nursery. And a nursery, I believe, is where you take kids who are under 1 year of age. We're talking little babies. I've even heard of church services taking like 3-week-old babies.
Yeah.
Now, that is incredible to us because as Hillsong kids, we've never done that. We have things called parenting rooms that we invite our families to be a part of until they turn 1. And what do they look like, Jess?
So these rooms will have everything that a mum needs. So a microwave for heating up food. They'll have high chairs. We try and make it really stylish, like a lounge. Really neutral colours, some really comfy armchairs that are really quite stylish so that then some mums can sit in those while they breastfeed, but then also whatever chairs we're using also will have pillows and things like that on it. In some of those rooms, we have like curtains or room dividers for mums who need privacy in that regard. We usually have like a little hospitality area where there's water and jugs and biscuits, and we'll always have a host. So the host actually makes sure that the mums have what they need. So if there's someone who needs more wet wipes, they'll help them find them, keep it clean, pass the offering container, make sure that the volume's good for the link into the service.
Yes.
So there's actually quite a lot to it, and I love these spaces.
100%. We put a lot of effort into it because we want to take all the excuses away for a new family to come to church.
Yeah.
And if they know there is a place that is not just functional but also beautiful and relaxing. I know a lot of our hosts will spray perfume. They will sometimes bring their own food in. And look after these mums. And so this is the ideal situation for us. One of these rooms has a beautiful atmosphere, low lighting, a very good link with great quality audio, or a big glass window like a lot of churches have that you can look into the service. And there's a beautiful host there who makes you feel like $1 million. That is our goal.
Yes.
And that is where obviously that's where all the breastfeeding happens because that's the under 1 year olds. And so for us as a church around the world, we really emphasize our parenting rooms. And it's always tricky because not every location that we have has a beautiful room. But we try and make something work.
Yes,
and I've seen lots of different variations on it, but it's a room, and even the chairs that are in that room are not just your normal standard chairs. They're chairs that make it easy to breastfeed on. So that is what we do with our breastfeeding mums, and that is a big philosophical kind of difference maybe in our church, and even our senior pastor Bobby is interested in these spaces.
She so interested.
In the years past, as we've talked about, she's the one that's chosen the gift for our new babies in our church.
She's chosen all the furniture that's currently
and she's chosen all the furniture because she knows the value of these rooms.
Even the product brand, like we've chosen a really good quality brand, which Bobby is interested in, and it's really cool.
And going back to the 90s, there's a sign that's been in a lot of our rooms that says, shh, shush parents, we're trying to hear the word, or we need to hear the word. That was at our Hills location like 30 years ago. And she put that up, she wanted that up there because she didn't want mums coming and just chatting. So that's not in every...
when the rooms are darker, women chat less.
100%.
And it's also dads too, because it's parenting rooms.
Correct.
Because we want dads to be able to go in.
That's it. It's not a mother's room. It's not a cry room. I've heard churches have a cry room, which is just a nightmare. Like, let's call it what you don't want to happen.
It's not like a creche.
It's not a creche. We call it a parenting room.
The toys are plastic, so they can be wiped clean.
Yes. Not
like fabric. And if it is something as fabric, then people take it home and wash it and bring it back.
And I know in Australia, a lot of our malls and shopping centres have a parenting room. And so we're just working with what our parents know. So if you're a visiting family and you hear a parenting room, you know what a parenting room is because you've seen one at the mall. Or you've seen one at a sporting event, or like in some kind of, what do you think? Where do you have sport at a field?
Where do you have sport? The musician asked.
What is it called? A stadium.
A stadium? Yeah.